Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Matthew, and today I'm here to remind you to stop feeding into old energies. Now, for the purposes of this video, energies are synonymous with vibration, frequency, or any other term that you may have heard in this community to essentially describe old states of consciousness and states of being. But I'm going to use energies just to keep it plain and simple. Now, there is something new I want to start doing in these videos, and this is a tester, and that is to start a video with a success story. The reason why, and I will timestamp so you can jump right into the video if you don't want to hear this part, but I don't like doing success stories videos on their own. I like presenting information and help, and while I can understand the success stories can be reassuring, for me, they kind of take away from the element of helping you get yours. So I've always found that a success story video, while it may do good on views, while it may do good on likes, and often follows with a surge of clients, it doesn't really help the message of my channel, which is your success. So what I thought I would start doing, and please comment down below if you like this idea or if there's any ways to improve it, is just read out a success story email before I get into the video. So it's there, here's your reassurance, but it doesn't take away a video slot from helping. So let me know what you think. If you like that idea, if I could improve upon it somehow, let me know. I may still do a success story video from time to time, but this, in my opinion, helps feed the success story desire from you guys, as well as my channel's purpose, which is to actually help you succeed. But this success story, I will obviously be reading it from my laptop. Some of you may have heard this success story before if you're on the Facebook group or if you're part of any of the memberships, because it's been posted there. But I like this video and this email, and I thought it would be a really great way for me to start this new project, quote unquote, that I'm doing. So bear with me while I read at a 3rd grade level. So last we talked, I was getting mixed movement from a specific person. However, I switched up my affirming and dropped her name from all affirmations and began opening myself up to more possibilities. It was during this time I reflected on our relationship and realized I had blindsided myself to all the negatives plaguing our relationship in the first place. I kind of just decided to surrender my need for a specific person. Specifically, I surrendered to the fact that someone new may enter my life, and if that happens, I won't fight it. That same night, I had a sudden urge to message a girl I'd spoken to years prior. We both talked for a while and lost contact, but she responded well and we called that night, all night, and caught up. Bear in mind, I liked this girl before, but didn't know she liked me too at the time. We immediately clicked and started calling every day and developed feelings really fast. This was back in August. The timing was crazy because she had not long got out of a bad relationship when I contacted her. We agreed to take things slow. I kind of accepted that my subconscious knew it wasn't truly SP I was manifesting after all. It was actually deep, reciprocal, mature love. My subconscious was acutely aware that I could never work out with SP in the long term. Here's the kicker. During our talking phase, as we confessed our feelings for each other, the original SP came back. She had broken up with her boyfriend and made hints at us getting back together, but I was in a different place by then. I decided to draw a boundary and tell her I was seeing someone and that the opportunity for getting back together had passed. I found everything I wanted in new SP's name, and I wasn't prepared to let SP come in the way of that. So by manifesting, actually manifested the true love of my life, but the specific person did make an appearance and an attempt after I'd stopped wanting her. So I really like this success story purely because it's getting new, amazing love, but it still managed to show that the old person came back, which I think is incredible. And this was a coaching client of mine. So if you're interested in getting success like that for yourself, hit me up. I have phone calls, video calls, and emails available, or all the other stuff on my website. Check it out. But for now, drop me a like and a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to click that bell icon, and let's dive into this video. So as I have stated in the hundreds of videos that I have posted on this channel, your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what's real and what is not real, and it only goes off of what you are feeding it through your thoughts, your feelings, the way you react to 3D, and so on, your conscious state. So with this idea of stop feeding into old energies, The reason this is the case is because your subconscious mind is literally a blank slate at every moment, ready for you to paint a new picture on it. If you're feeding into old energies, and this could be reacting to the 3D, this could be constantly sitting in old thought patterns, allowing old feelings to arise, allowing old beliefs to take hold, old energies, old states of consciousness. If you're continuing to feed into that, you are basically just painting on that blank canvas the exact same stuff that you have always been experiencing. If you do the same thing you've always done, you will get the same thing you have always gotten. So, when I say stop feeding into old energies, I mean notice what's come up. If it serves you, great, let it exist. If it doesn't, do what is necessary to remove it. The subconscious mind doesn't care what it is that you're placing on it. It just pumps it out. So, if you're having old thought patterns come up, the fact that it's come up isn't necessarily a big deal. What comes up isn't what matters, it's where you take it. Even the richest person on the planet, even the most healthy relationship person on the planet would have the odd thought of, what if I lost it all? But the difference between them and, say, someone who's on the complete opposite end of the spectrum is that they would go, that's a ridiculous thought, never going to happen, and brush it off. Or they'd be like, if I did, I know that I could get it all back again, or something. Something that states, I haven't got to worry about this. But someone that's, say, super insecure or has only experienced unhealthy relationships would probably have that thought and go, yeah, that's going to happen. Great, game over. I've thought this thought. It's all done. Because it's not what comes up that matters, it's where you take it. The super secure person or the rich person or whatever has it come up, they take it positively or redirect it positively. The person who's on the other end will have it come up and go, yeah, that's true, and they won't do anything with it to overcome it. They're feeding that old energy. And like I said, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. So at each given moment where it is necessary, you need to have an awareness of yourself. You need to bring conscious awareness into this process to say, where am I state-wise? What are my thoughts right now? What are my feelings right now? What are the things I'm reacting to? Or how am I reacting? What is going on in this me? Where is my I am at, for want of a better term? And then you need to make the conscious decision to guide that into something new and more favorable. So if it's a thought of SP will never come back, for example, notice it's come up. Does this serve me? Well, if I'm manifesting that specific person, no. Okay, what would serve me instead? Well, if I want to be with them, making the claim that I'm with them is ideal. So that thought comes up and you'd laugh it off and say that's not true at all because I'm already with a specific person. You're not feeding into that old thought, you're feeding into the new one. Same thing with feelings. If a feeling of anxiety comes up, is anxiety helpful? No. At least as far as manifestation goes. It does have its place in the world, but as far as what we're trying to do, no. So you notice it. Is this serving me? Of course not. What would serve me instead? Peace, calmness, abundance, love, joy. Great. If you feel states of anxiety, take some deep, deliberate breaths, do some EFT tapping if that's more your thing, listen to some music, whatever helps bring you out of that anxious space, and work on placing yourself in a more calm, relaxed, abundant, joyful space. You're not feeding the old anxieties, you're feeding the new states of abundance. Same thing with the way that you're reacting. If every single time you were left on red by your person, you send them a message going, oi, dickhead, respond to me, you twat. And you do that again, you are just feeding the old reactive state of consciousness. And if you're being reactive and you're feeding that, you will get more things to be reactive about. So this time, you go, okay, what do I want to do? I want to tell them that they are an ass. Does that serve me? Well, no. Even from a healthy boundary perspective, you'd go about it a different way. So you go, okay, I don't want to do that. What would serve me instead? If necessary and if self-concept affirming, because it's something that's been ongoing or you just feel it would be a disservice not to set a boundary, then you can set that boundary. If it's something that you can just be like, you know what, doesn't matter, they'll message me when they're free, great, do that instead. Make that new reaction, feed into that new reaction. Because if you feed into the old reaction, you're just basically telling your subconscious mind, I want more of this, which is why I'm reacting to it. If in your end result where you actually have them, this thing wouldn't exist, then there's no purpose putting your focus on it now. Because you're trying to align yourself to the version who has it. And if that version of you wouldn't ever need to place consciousness on being ignored because they wouldn't be ignored, then you don't need to place your consciousness on being ignored now. And I literally do this myself. I've used this example in previous videos. If I get left on red, and this has been pretty much throughout my entire journey since manifesting, not just with KT, for example, but if I get left on red, picture this to be my comically gigantic phone. Oh, cool. That wasn't supposed to land on the floor. Oh, whatever, I'm gonna get on my day. They'll message me when they're free. That is literally what I would do. I would just throw my phone to the side. They'll message me later, of course they will. And then get on with my day. Because in my end result where I have my person, if I get left on red, I'm going to only assume it's for an accidental reason. If Katie leaves me on red now, I don't ever expect it to be because she's trying to ghost me. It's she thought she'd responded. She got super busy because we have kids. So, you know, she could have been texting and then the kids are like, Mom, I need this. And then she has to drop everything and help them. You know what kids are like. Any number of other reasons that do not accommodate the possibility of it being because she doesn't want me anymore. So while manifesting, I would replicate the same thing. And that would feed the subconscious mind that story, thus getting me the message later on, thus stopping me from accidentally recreating more of what I don't want because I'm no longer feeding into those old energies. And that experience you will find like just across the board. When people stop assuming it's because they're not wanted that these things aren't happening and start putting a more positive or at least beneficial for what they're trying to do reason behind it, things change. They get the message later on that day. They get the phone call with the apology. They get the, hey, I was an arse message. And things like that. And it's because they're not feeding into that old energy, thus creating a new painting on that blank canvas that the subconscious mind can push out. Because on top of not knowing what is real and what's not, and on top of only going off of what you feed it, it also has no concept of past, present, and future as separate entities. It goes off of what you're feeding it, which I suppose kind of goes on hand in hand with the second point. But what this means is that it isn't going, oh, but you fed me all this stuff before, so it must be bullshit. It's going, this is what you're saying. This is what I'm going to be creating. So if you can have that conscious awareness, and I understand it's not the easiest thing. I'm not sitting here on some monk level high horse or some absolute, you know, shaman of an individual saying, why are you reacting? I get it. Which is why I've always spread the message of doing what you can to pull yourself out of it. Regulate, multiple techniques to help you through it, and so on. Because it isn't always easy. But it's absolutely necessary. If you wish to have different experiences, you must start approaching reality in a different way. New sets of thoughts, new sets of feelings, new sets of reactions, and so on. But that is it for today's video. If you have enjoyed it, drop me a like and a comment to let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to click that bell icon. If you've enjoyed the success story thing and you like the idea, let me know down below in the comment section. If you want more practicals on how to do this video, as in like actual, here's some regulating methods and here's this, that, and the other, check out everything else on my channel. Or if you would like me to work with you on a one-to-one basis, I do have one-to-one services available. I have memberships available with tons of exclusive content, free products and discounts, deep dive self-study courses, which are exceptional. Definitely check them out. Or the Academy with all of that and more available. Check it out if you're interested. Drop me a like and a comment, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.